Hi everyone, welcome and thank you for being here. Today we are on day 18 of Endurance and Echoes, 45 days of running, cycling, and the stories that shaped me. In this journey, in these 45 days of remembering the stories that shaped me, I have realized that I have been doing a lot of shadow work. And I think also the fact that I am turning 45, I am approaching menopause, I'm putting a lot of things into perspective. And when I started this, I thought it was just going to be about exercise, but no, it has shifted. It is about my life, how I want to live it moving forward, how I have lived it before. And yeah, I'm realizing the triumphs, the mistakes I have made, and how I want to correct them, and also just the memories, the good memories. And that is it, it is making this challenge worth it. Yeah. Now today 18, I'm supposed to be doing 28 kilometers of cycling. I do half and half. I end up doing 14 kilometers of running and 14 kilometers of cycling. Now to the story for year 18. Now high school is high schooling, and I have got my clique of noisemakers, and we continue with our mischief. And high school was fun. My adolescent years were some of the best years of my life. I lived my life to the fullest. I was daring, I was raring to go, I was not scared of anything, and that sometimes put me in trouble a lot of times, especially in high school. But I enjoyed my adolescent years. I enjoyed high school. I had fun in high school. People went to school to study, but me, I think I went to Asumbi to have fun. I had fun in high school. And like I said, my adolescent years were some of the best years of my life. And 4 of them were in high school. It was a fun time. So in Form 2, nothing significant. What I can say was high school was high schooling. I was noise making and notorious at that. And yeah, no, yes, I have remembered in high school, in Form 2, I joined this church called Seventh Day Church of God. At this time, my mom had now moved. My dad had been interdicted. He had lost his job. And now my mom had moved to Migori. And in Migori, I met some girls who became my friends, and they introduced me to their church. They had also just joined their church, that church, because we used to go with them to SDA. So an uncle of theirs was a member of the Seventh Day Church of God. So I also became a member. One thing that I realized about my parents, they let me go to this church. And I used to go on Saturday. I remember Seventh Day Church of God are more strict than SDAs. And my mom never, she was Adventist at the time, but she never used to prepare food on Friday for Sabbath. I introduced that because I was the one who was, when schools closed, I was in charge of, I would be asked to make food for Saturday. And sometimes I was told to prepare food on Saturday. So I told her, why don't I do it on Friday so that tomorrow I do not have to cook? So I said, why don't I do it on Friday so that I do not have to cook on Saturday? Because even on Saturday, we went to church and spent the whole day there. I would even carry food in form too. Oh Lord. Yes. And go to church and stay there until evening and come back. My parents must have, my mom especially, she must have really trusted me to let me go to this church alone and just come back in the evening. And one notable change that church made me do in my mother's house was to prepare food for Sabbath on Friday, and also to cover my head while going to church. My mom also picked that. That is a change I love to say that church brought in my mother's house. She used to go to church but never used to cover her head. And when I joined this church, she was now able to go to church and cover her head. She does that even now. And so sometimes adolescents bring changes in the home. They can influence you positively. And also it is a time of a lot of questioning, experimentation. Just be there for them. Like my parents let me go to that church. And the adolescent years are also the years that the children become curious about their faith. And so for me, I became curious about my faith and left SDA and went to this other church called Seventh-day Church of God. They also worshipped on Saturday. Maybe I think that is why my parents never had a problem with me going there. And given